connecting the mic right now, guys. Hold on. Mic is on. Mic is hot, guys. The mic is hot, guys. We are live with another one, guys. All right, we are live with another one. OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, guys. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Okay? A channel where the fans come first, not last. All right? Guys, topic of discussion today with the big news of Jon Jones' retirement. Finally, Dana White coming to a press conference after ducking and dodging the press conference like he's basically Floyd Mayweather. Okay? And finally makes it to the press conference and is totally transparent. Lets the world and the media know, guys, it's over. Jon Jones is retired. He would not be coming back to the octagon. He would not be coming back to the UFC. However, Dana White wasn't completely transparent, okay? Because all of us are sitting in the sidelines, saying, I told you so. We knew this was going to happen. However, we never knew the circumstances of the events of Jon Jones' retirement because apparently Jon Jones caught another case. I guess back in February, he had another collision. Okay. I don't know the fine details, but from what I saw and what I read, he got in another collision back in February. And he did leave the scene. Okay. He did leave the scene. And apparently, the UFC had to basically call it quits with Jon Jones. Okay. The debacle is over. The heavyweight division is in shambles. It's been in shambles for the last 2 years, guys. Since Jon Jones has basically entered into the heavyweight division has been in shambles, guys. Point blank, period. All right, point blank, period. I already knew. I made multiple videos stating that Jon Jones will never fight Tom Aspinall. I made multiple videos on here stating that the last time you saw Jon Jones fight was against the dead body in Stipe Miocic. All right. Did you hear they finally booked Jon Jones versus Aspinall? Max, yeah, they finally booked that to not happen. Okay, to not happen. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, it takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. All right. A channel where the fans come first, not last, okay? Yeah, come on, Max. We all know. We all know now. We already knew then, and now we know for sure that Jon Jones is never coming back into the octagon. But with that said, guys, what is next for Tom Aspinall? I mean, basically what he's left with, is some, leftovers. That's basically what he's left with, guys. And that is the God honest truth. That is facts, guys. Okay, like and subscribe. Guys, the UFC heavyweight is in the heavyweight division is in shambles. Tom Aspinall is left with crumbs, okay, of leftovers. Tom Aspinall is the boogeyman. Hey, he just might be. He just might be because he did say that he will make Jon Jones retire without fighting him. And look at what just happened, guys. Jon Jones basically crashed his car into someone, you know what I mean, back in February, and now he's walking away from the heavyweight division, which it confused me a little bit because they could have, back a year ago, they could have just said Jon Jones is going to be retired back in Madison Square Garden after he fought Stipe Miocic, but that's hearsay, okay? That's hearsay. Dude, I remember when you said they had agreed in chat that fight was never going to happen, and we knew Jon Jones' last fight was against Stipe. Guys, Max, my point exactly. My point exactly. Stipe Miocic, the dead body that could barely make it into the octagon. Guys, Stipe Miocic was wobbling to the octagon when he fought Jon Jones. Jon Jones, I don't even know how he could be proud to fight a man like Stipe Miocic that day. Okay, all due respect to Stipe Miocic, but he was a dead body in the cemetery, basically 6 feet deep. Because, I mean, atrocious, atrocious. John shouldn't even try to go back into the ring. Guys, Jon Jones will never come back into the ring. Okay, we have a better chance of this flower, okay, going to get a contract with Dana White and the UFC in that heavyweight division. I bet you this flower right here, okay, could definitely go against the top 10. All right, I could guarantee you that, because I'm about to read to you what Tom Aspinall is left with. Okay, it is not pretty, guys. All right, point blank, period. What Tom Aspinall is left with in that heavyweight division is a debacle. Dana White and the UFC should be ashamed of themselves. Such a young man in Tom Aspinall, not only did you hold up his bank account, but you held his career. You should be ashamed of yourself. Let me read some of these comments. And we can't say Jones was too old. Look what Kamaru Usman did. Jones ducked Tom. We all saw it. Max, we all did. We all did. For what it's worth, I won't say he ducked him. I'm not gonna stand here and say that, okay? But I will say this: Jon Jones was never going to fight Tom Aspinall. Jon Jones was never going to fight Tom Aspinall. I screamed it on top of the hills on many videos. And finally, we hear in 2025, mid-year, finally, Dana White makes it to the press conference and is a little bit transparent. Finally. Let me get back to these comments. The flower wouldn't duck Tom Aspinall. John's hiding under the mat to hide from a drug test is the highlight of Jon Jones. Alfonso, that's a legendary story. All right, Chael Sonnen had a way of explaining stories, just like how Chael Sonnen explained, you know what I mean, about the Nogueira brothers, you know, thinking that a bus was an elephant. Okay, the guy is just, he has a way with telling stories. So when it comes to the Jon Jones hiding underneath the ring, I could believe it. I can believe it. These guys, everybody wants to believe that these UFC fighters are all telling this truth. That these UFC fighters are not taking steroids, they're not doing blood transfusions, they're not taking, you know, drugs that we haven't even heard of, that have never even made it to the market yet. Okay, everybody believes this, but in reality, the reality is, guys, a lot of these fighters that were champions, all right, look, believe it or not, they're doing something. They're doing something to hit those high levels. I'm just point blank, period. All right, my point exactly. Look at the cyclists. Cyclists, grown men riding bicycles. All right, all of them are cheating. All of them are taking drugs. All of them are doing blood transfusions just for riding bicycles, guys. These fighters are definitely cheating. We're just not, you know, in the no. You know what I mean? It's all in the DL. Let me read some of these comments. Please save us, Francis Ngannou. Guys, Mustard, Francis Ngannou is not coming back to the UFC. He's just not. And the reason why I say that is because Dana White would never allow it. Okay, Dana White. Once somebody takes advantage of Dana White, that's it. You're not in the you're not going to be in the UFC. I'll tell you that much. All right, we all saw what happened with Randy Couture when he started negotiating with Dana White, and there was a little, you know, a little heat, a little situation there. To this day, Randy Couture and Dana White don't get along. So I don't know if the UFC and Francis Ngannou could get into negotiations without Dana White, but that's a good question. Big Nog petting the bus. Max, it was crazy. The story was crazy. It definitely was hilarious. Mark Hunt still trying to fight the UFC. Is he still fighting that case? That's nuts, man. That case has been over a decade. Over a decade. That guy's losing money. The UFC needs to settle. All right, guys. So what is next for Tom Aspinall now that Jon Jones finally vacated his belt and Dana White has finally been transparent and told us that Jon Jones will never be fighting in the octagon against Tom Aspinall? Look at what Tom Aspinall is left with, guys. He has Ciryl Gane, ranked number 2. Ciryl Gane, guys, is ranked number 2. Alexander Volkov is ranked number 3. Sergey Pavlovich is ranked number 4, guys. Guys, Curtis Blades is ranked number 5, guys. Curtis fucking Blades, guys. Oh my God. Yesterday I was wondering why the UFC signed a former, PFL champion, former heavyweight PFL champion. I was wondering about that. And it hit me. It hit me while I was making this list. I said, oh my gosh. I mean, the heavyweight division is even worse than what I thought. It literally is. Like this I don't know what the UFC is doing right now. I honestly don't know what they're doing right now. They need to pay attention to this heavyweight division because we're very close. We're already in the UFC recession. We really are. And the way it looks with this heavyweight division, I don't know what they're gonna do with Tom Aspinall. I really don't. I'm looking at this. I'm confused. I'm confused. Curtis Blades is ranked number 5, guys. Fucking Curtis Blades. Jolton Almeida is ranked number 6, guys. Jolton fucking Almeida. Oh God, Tom Aspinall. I feel sorry for the guy. There's literally nobody there to build a legacy off of. Really, let me get back to these comments. I think that case is officially over in the last year or 2. A wrestler versus striker, bad fight for Ciryl. A division is cooked. How lackluster was Patchy Mix UFC debut at 135? Max. I mean, the guy looked like a dead body. The guy looked stiff as a board. He looked like he had a neck injury. He could barely fucking move. You know what I mean? He looked very, very odd in that octagon. You know what I mean, for a UFC debut. I could tell you that one. But the fight was on short notice, so I give him the benefit of the doubt. However, it was a bad debut. And for Pitbull as well. I mean, Pitbull got picked apart by a dead body in Yair Rodriguez, guys. So that was 2 back-to-back, horrendous debuts. But going back to this video that I made a little while ago about Alex Pereira making a video about how much he weighs, and he's weighing about 243 pounds. That really leads me to my next, judgment here, and what I think is going to happen. I honestly think the UFC is going to book Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall. I do see that fight happening. And I do see it happening sooner than later. And the reason why I say that is because there's honestly nothing exciting in this heavyweight division right now. Right now, the UFC has to do their due diligence and somehow stall out this division. And the reason why I say stall out this division is because they have to figure out a way, to mix it up. They have to figure out a way to go out there into this world and find some heavyweights. Because as it stands right now, I mean, Sergio Pavlovich ranked number 4th, Curtis Blades ranked number 5. We got to do something here, guys. This is atrocious. You kidding me right now? You kidding me? This is I don't know what to say. Let me read some of these comments. He was so confident. You think they give him the heavyweight title shot after he lost the light heavyweight belt? Yeah, I do think so, Max. I do think that is most likely what's going to happen. I mean, what's more exciting than Alex Pereira moving up and fighting Tom Aspinall? There's nothing more exciting than that. I mean, you tell me, Max. Does Sergio Pavlovich sound exciting? Does Sergio Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall sound exciting? Because that shit doesn't sound exciting to me. Does Curtis Blades, after the performance that he just did yesterday, okay? Because in my opinion, he was losing that fight. Do you think Curtis Blades and Tom Aspinall sounds exciting? Guys, none of these fights sound exciting. And if you do, I'm telling you right now, you're sleeping at the wheel. There's nothing more exciting than Alex Pereira and Tom Aspinall as it stands right now. The heavyweight division is in shambles. There's no one there for Tom Aspinall to build a legacy off of, honestly. Even if he goes on a 5-fight winning streak against whoever the top 5 is, guys, it's terrible. We'll forever look back and say, damn, Tom Aspinall was great, but man, those were the bad years of that heavyweight division. Those were the Great Depression years. Like, let me read some of these comments. I'm gonna have the rare instance where I disagree. I don't think Dana would be into that, but Poirier has star power, so maybe he would do it for the numbers. I don't know. Well, Max, look, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. Okay, in less than 4 to 5 days, we had Alex Pereira post on his Instagram that he weighs 243 pounds. That leads me to believe, why would you post that you weigh 243 pounds? And then that very same day that Alex Pereira posts that, okay, Dana White gets in front of the media finally after ducking and dodging the media for weeks now, okay, ducking and dodging him like Floyd Mayweather. All right, finally makes his media appearance and tells us we'll find out what happens with the heavyweight division and Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones in the coming weeks. Okay, that's exactly what he lets us know. On the same day that Alex Pereira posted how much he weighs. Finally, the upcoming weeks come. We're finally here. Dana White comes to the press conference, admits that Jon Jones is retired and won't be making it to the octagon ever again. And Tom Aspinall is crowned the champion. Guys, with all that said, when you put all that together, it leads me to believe, all right, that somewhere in there, Alex Pereira is mixed in with Tom Aspinall in the coming future. You're making a logical point and deduction based on what Alex Pereira posted. So I do admit you have a point. Hey, Max, I'm just stating the facts. Okay, like I said, this is your channel. This is you guys' channel. All right, I'm just the pilot, guys. Okay, literally, I'm just the pilot. I'm just feeding you what I know. All right, and with that all that information that I have collected, it just leads me to believe that there's nothing exciting or more exciting than the Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira fight. I'm sorry, I look at Ciryl Gane, I'm like, that doesn't excite nobody. Not even a leaf outside will get excited. Okay. Alexander Volkov, not excited for that. Sergey Pavlovich, come on now, guys. Curtis Blades, dead body. There's nothing there, guys. This is nothing there. Really. Your best bet right now is to wait on the division to develop itself, and maybe Waldo Cortez Acosta. Waldo Cortez Acosta. Could do something in that division, maybe. You know what I mean? A fresh face. I don't know, man. Poirier trying to be on 2-fight loss streak. Patty Ryan. What is it? Patty Ryan. Look, man. We shall see, man. We shall see. You never know what can happen. It's a fight. It's a mixed martial arts fight. Anything can happen. If you land the right punch at the right moment, anything can happen. Aspinall, Max Pereira. Hey, I don't know about that, guys. I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see about that. It sounds exciting. In my opinion, it's a lot harder, for Tom Aspinall to knock out a person like Alex Pereira, who's very agile. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. He's in the tail end of his career, but he's still a great striker. All right. The question is whether Dana White actually books that fight after Alex come off of a light heavyweight strap loss. Anything can happen, I guess. Well, look, man, you're right. Look, Max, Patty Ryan, Max, I agree with both of y'all, wholeheartedly. I really do. I agree with both of y'all. I think when you look at it on paper, Alex Pereira gets mauled by the guy who has better wrestling, is a bigger guy, and has a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background as well. In Tom Aspinall, I agree with you guys. You know what I mean? And I agree with Max when you say, anything can happen, and maybe Dana White does book it, and maybe he doesn't. But in my opinion, I'm just looking at this division, and after the names that I just mentioned, guys, there's nobody there. A guy off of the street who weighs over 225 most likely could come into this heavyweight division and beat a top 10. Guys, I'm just being real. I'm just being honest. Go to your nearest barbecue, okay? And you most likely could find a heavyweight that could compete in the UFC right now in the top 10. Guaranteed. But yeah, that would be a bad night for Alex. Tom is a natural heavyweight who can grapple. I agree, Max. Hey, I'm not stating that Alex Pereira is going to win this fight. What I'm stating is Alex Pereira is the most exciting fight for Tom Aspinall. That's all I'm stating. I'm not saying Alex Pereira will win that fight. All I'm stating is that Tom Aspinall has nothing left in that division. So the most exciting thing is Alex Pereira. Alex could pull off a Sean O'Malley versus Aljo against Aspinall, but I think it's a low probability. I agree. It's definitely a low probability, but you know what I mean? I would love to see it. I think the UFC should do their due diligence, and they should definitely book that fight. There's a guy from a barbecue that fights in the top 10 in the UFC heavyweight. His name is Derek Lewis. Oh God, he's in Texas right now in a barbecue. He's probably in Texas right now in a barbecue, finishing up. You know what I mean? Some ribs. You know what I mean? In Derek Lewis, guys. You're absolutely right about that one, guys. He's in Houston right now, finishing up his meal in your local, barbecue. Derek Lewis is still a top 10. You're right. He's still a top 10. Actually, he is ranked 10th, I believe. I mean, guys, the heavyweight division is in shambles, man. I love Derek Lewis, though. That's one fighter right there that I can never look at Derek Lewis and say, oh my God, pity the fool. Nah, I look at Derek Lewis, man. He's a, for what he is, man, he's a great fighter, man. Very entertaining. I appreciate him every time he goes into the octagon. Besides that Francis Ngannou fight, every other fight that he's been in, it's been fun, man. It's been fun. More fights at flyweight. The division they were going to end. Then there are fights to make at the heavyweight. Like Future, the rapper, said, "What a time to be alive." Damn, Max. Whoa, you hit. Damn, where's my holy? Damn. Max hit him with the old school verse. You know what I mean? What a time to be alive. Yeah, man. I agree with you. Man. We I was debating on someone's channel on their chats. You know what I mean? When did UFC die? You know what I mean? In my opinion, UFC started dying about 6 years ago. In my opinion, the UFC started dying 6 years ago, and right now it's basically on a generator. The UFC is basically on a generator. It's on an AED. You know what I mean? It's been revived. You know what I mean? And it's on it's on a machine. And that's the way we've been living for the last 6 years. And now we're hitting the Great Depression. Once the heavyweight division it gets like this, that's when we're headed towards an area with turbulence. Oh my gosh. Derek Lewis just funny as fuck, and I think most KOs in heavyweight history, I believe. Yes, Derek Lewis does hold it down. Derek Lewis hold it down. I think number 2 is Matt Brown, if I'm not mistaken. Number 2 is Matt Brown. But number 1 is Derek Lewis, guys. He holds it down. And it's crazy, bro. You're right about that. I can't believe you brought back the "What a Time to Be Alive" because it is true, man. It is true, man. It's sort of like if the John Jones, just left a note for the UFC, and what that note read was what was it called? If you're reading this, it's too late. The Drake and the two the what was it the Drake and Future album. Now that you're breaking in Future, that's exactly what Drake. I mean, that's what what's his name left. John Jones left a note. If you're reading this, it's too late. Back in February, I got in a car crash, Dana. I'm sorry, guys. I'm laughing my ass off right now, man, because that just came into my mind, man. I could honestly see John Jones writing a note to to Dana White, you know what I mean, to the boss, and just writing that down. Like, if you're reading this, it's too late. Back in February, got in a car crash. Once again, ran away from the scene. Strip me from the title, Dana. Strip me. Like, I can see something like that. Oh my gosh, it's oh my god. Oh god. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta laugh. Oh, that was a good laugh. I'm sorry, guys. Holy shit. This heavyweight division is in shambles, bro. It really is, bro. It really is. I'm looking back at these names and I'm just like, wow, atrocious. But as it stands right now, guys, the UFC heavyweight division is in shambles. Okay. When it comes to my UFC fight predictions, I'm 133 wins and 91 losses. That is 133 wins and 91 losses for my UFC fight predictions for 2025. That is a 60% rate when it comes to predicting these things. So that's not bad. That's not bad. What is it? These kids don't know the 2014 Drake. I'm telling you, man, they don't know, bro. They don't know, bro. That was legendary, bro. That whole album was legendary. I remember the day that album dropped, bro. When Drake dropped that album, if you're reading this, it was too late. I was in a car. I remember when he dropped it. It was sort of like, it was dropped like anonymously. Nobody really knew that he was dropping any mixtapes or anything like that. Damn, this fly is killing me. Nobody really knew Drake was dropping anything, and then when he dropped it, I remember it was late night, and I was in my car. I was leaving my friend's house, and my friend comes up and tells me, "Yo, Drake just dropped an album," and he was like, "I'm gonna send you the link," and I was like, "All right," and he sent me the link, and I remember the whole way because I had a long ride home, and the whole ride home, I didn't even have to skip a song. That whole album was dope as hell. Yeah, man. 2014 Drake was a monster, straight monster, man. I have an interesting idea. The UFC acquire another organization to acquire more talent. Seems doubtful though, because those organizations pay more and wouldn't want too much money. Max, it's funny that you're coming up with these ideas because these ideas already have been brought up. I mean, the UFC already came up with these ideas. The UFC is infamous for buying other organizations to, basically circumvent their talent. You saw what happened with WEC. It was supposed to be a merger, and then all of a sudden they shut down WEC and just brought all those fighters into the UFC. So you saw what happened with that. You saw what happened with Pride. You saw what happened with Strikeforce. That's all the UFC does is acquire other organizations. You know what I mean? For then the UFC can say, "Oh, we have all the best fighters." Of course, you have all the best fighters. You bought all the other organizations. But at this point right now, the UFC, I don't know if they're going to sign any other organization. There's nothing out there that has great fighters right now when it comes to the UFC. And that is the honest truth. There's nothing exciting out there right now. I mean, the UFC just signed a former PFL heavyweight champion, guys. I mean, it's ridiculous. A former heavyweight PFL champion? What is that going to do? Whatever. Yeah, that album came out of nowhere. I was listening to to it all the time after that. Oh man, I'm telling you, man, it really was. Yeah, Pride, WEC, Strike Force. But I wonder if they do it in the modern era. I mean, what organization would they buy? You know what I mean? What organization can they buy? They're not gonna buy out Pride. You know what I mean? There's that whole organization is just there's nothing exciting over there right now. You know what I mean? And all the exciting fighters have left PFL really, and Francis Ngannou himself is about to leave PFL. You know what I mean? So like, what's an organization out there to buy? What, GFL? That damn organization was done before it started. They aren't buying one or PFL. There's nothing. Yeah, Max. They're really that's pretty much it, Max. There's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. Cage Warriors is too small. Holy crap! No, they would definitely not. And it's funny because Cage Warriors is still associated with the UFC. Believe it or not, the guy who owns that organization is definitely associated with Dana White. They use that organization to circumvent some of their fighters from Cage Warriors into the UFC. That's guaranteed. So they're not gonna buy that organization out. They already have a good deal going on there. So I don't know. I don't know what the UFC is gonna do. Dana White has to go back on his YouTube channel with Matt Serra and go, travel the world. You know what I mean? Travel the world. Go try to find some heavyweights. You know what I mean? Like I said, go to your local barbecue. You'll be able to find some heavyweights real quick. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're right. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. All right. I'm telling you. And like I always like to say, guys, all right, like I always like to say, this is your channel, man. Honestly, this is your channel, your community. I am just the pilot. I'm just guiding, you know what I mean, this channel. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, so I just want you to know you are appreciated. All right. The talent drought is real. I mean, the UFC right now, they're stuck in a situation where they're signing fighters and the product that they're delivering is just not that great. And you can tell by these fighters that are in the UFC as well. Some of these fighters don't belong in the UFC. Some of these fighters, I see them in the UFC. I'm just asking myself, how the hell did they get a contract by Dana White in the UFC? Honestly. But then again, that is what we left with, guys. That is what we're left with. When you have to have over 1,000 fights a month, like honestly, you got to have a lot of fighters. And apparently the UFC is willing to sign a lot of them. So what do you think the solution is for the MMA drought? All right, guys. I already gave out a blueprint of how the UFC can improve themselves moving forward into 2026. And I'm going to tell you how they can improve themselves fairly quickly right now, since you just asked the questions, because that is a very important question. All right, Max. So I'm going to go ahead and do my best to answer this. All right. First and foremost, they have to do something with the Ultimate Fighter show. Okay. And that's something that they have to do. It isn't having DC, Daniel Cormier, and Chael Sonnen as the Ultimate Fighter coaches. You can't do that. All right. Two guys that are retired that are never going to fight each other. How the hell is that entertaining for the new viewers? How are you going to get, new viewers to be entertained and intrigued by mixed martial arts and the UFC? By having DC and Chael Sonnen as the Ultimate Fighter coaches? No. That is not entertaining. That is not fun. Okay, and that's not going to bring new fans into the mixed martial arts area. Guaranteed. So first and foremost, they need to do some hydration to that Ultimate Fighter show, because right now that shit is dead. Honestly. All right? That Ultimate Fighter show is in shambles. They should be ashamed of themselves that is actually, this bad. The viewership is terrible. So if I was them, I would do something very fast, very quickly for the Ultimate Fighter, because that's one way you can actually, get in touch with fans. All right? And not only that, but do something where you don't have to be behind a paywall to watch the Ultimate Fighter. I think that is the most craziest thing in the world. You have to pay to watch The Ultimate Fighter. That is out of control. When ultimately The Ultimate Fighter was a show that brought up the UFC in way back in the beginning and revived the whole league, was because of The Ultimate Fighter. So that's one thing they need to do. Bring back The Ultimate Fighter and bring back coaches that make it entertaining, whether it's Adesanya and Strickland, Tom Aspinall, Alex Pereira, something exciting that the fans can watch and it can be intriguing and interesting. That's the first thing they need to do. Second thing they need to do is they need to travel the world. They need to go ahead, travel the world, all right? Try to find some heavyweights, try to find some flyweights, and damn it, try to find some females for that bantamweight division, because that female bantamweight division is in shambles. There's nobody there, guys. After Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison, there's nobody there. So they need to go search for some fighters. That's the second thing they need to do. And the third thing they need to do is pray. That's the third thing they need to do, okay, Max? Because only a prayer right now can help the direction where the UFC is headed. Honestly, because the decisions that they've been making lately, I just question if they even educated. Because how can you be coming up with these ideas and saying, yeah, that's a great idea, when half of your ideas that you've been coming up with for 2025 have been trash? Okay, so I'll leave it at that. All right, I rest my case. Worst product and higher price point for ESPN Plus, pay-per-view, etc. Exactly, Max. Yo, my guy, what's up, Andrew? Welcome back to the chat. Welcome back to the community, and welcome back to the channel. Hi, how you doing, Eager? How are you doing? Umar Nurmagomedov versus Merab would have been a better Ultimate Fighter show than DC. Laugh my ass off. And I'm not even saying it would have been good, just better than what they did. My point exactly, Max. And actually, that is more entertaining. Now that you're mentioning that, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Merab as Ultimate Fighter coaches would have definitely been more entertaining. I definitely would have been watching. There would have been something to watch, and some, there would have been a new video to make on here every day because of Merab. There would have been some type of altercation because of Umar Nurmagomedov. Something would have been said that would have been intriguing. I rest my case. Thanks for answering my question. For sure, Max. Thank you for being a part of the community and being a part of the chat, man. I really appreciate it. You're what keeps this channel going. What's your opinion on pay-per-view card coming up? Main fight's good, but the rest of the card looks like Apex Fight Night. Yeah, I did mention that. I did mention that, and that's what the UFC is giving us, guys. I did mention that in one of my videos actually recently. If you take a look at, perfect example is UFC 319, DDP versus Chimaev. I really hope that fight stays intact, because if that fight falls apart, that whole card is worse than a UFC Apex. That whole card is not even worthy of a UFC Apex if DDP and Chimaev fall apart. Okay, and that is facts. And that is the product that the UFC is giving us right now. Very top heavy, you know what I mean? Where the main event is a great main event, co-main event, it's okay, and then the rest of the card, it just falls apart. You know what I mean? That's the product that they're gonna keep delivering to the fans, because honestly, we keep paying for it. The fans keep, buying these tickets to go to these events, when in reality, these tickets are outpriced. There's no way I'm going to pay $1,000 for nosebleed seats where I'm sitting outside in the fucking parking lot. It's just not happening. I just got an Amanda Nunes auto card. I don't know how she will do with the ring rust, but I am excited to watch her come back and give it a try versus Kayla, who is a beast. I made a video about that whole debacle, because the women's, what the hell? Because the women's bantamweight division is in shambles, guys. It literally is. And I made a whole video dedicated to that division, because I was stating that the best case scenario for the women's bantamweight division is if Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes fight in a trilogy fight, where there's 3 fights and the division is held for the next 2 years. And the reason why I say that is because honestly, there's nothing exciting in the bantamweight division. In that women's bantamweight division, there's nobody there, guys. Honestly. So the best case scenario is if you got a three fights between Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison. Let that whole thing, let that whole thing happen, and maybe the bantamweight division by then, once the dust settles, hopefully there's more females in that division that make things a little bit more exciting, because as it stands right now, that division is in shambles. Ugh. Sorry, I had to grab this. Idea, Valentina moves up and fights winner of that fight at 135. I don't think they want to see that. You know what I mean? Valentina Shevchenko already fought Amanda Nunes twice, and she lost against Amanda Nunes twice. However, if you do watch that fight, Valentina Shevchenko versus Amanda Nunes, I do think Valentina Shevchenko did win one of those fights, but I don't think the UFC is going to book that one. Although I don't want to see Valentina fight Kayla, she's too big. Very much so. Very much so. She really is. I looked at that. Looked at the card poster, and the wild thing is stacked. I don't think we will ever see cards like that again. Definitely not. Definitely not. Back in the day, cards. You will have a UFC fight night on Spike TV, and it will be stacked from top to bottom. GSP coming back after 3 years and beating Bisping was so sick. I miss those days. Yeah, Max, those days are over, man. Those days are over. Honestly, you know what I mean? We're left with Tom Aspinall, stuck in a position where there's nobody there. Honestly, there's nobody there. Gabby, the YouTuber. Hi, how you doing, Gabby? Hopefully, you having a good one. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the community. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right. But yeah, guys. Mate, it was crazy. It definitely was crazy, man. Even my friend that didn't follow UFC stayed up till 5 a.m. UK time. Andrew, let me tell you something. Those days are over. Those days are over. It's like I'm watching cards these days, and it's like I'm falling asleep midway. I'm just being honest. I'm falling asleep midway card because the cards are just straight trash. It's either you get the prelims are exciting, or the main card are exciting, or the whole card is trash. You can never get a full card where it's great top to bottom. Have yet to get that in 2025. Such a legendary memory, Andrew, for sure. I'm good. I'm going good. That's what's up, Gabby. That is awesome. That is awesome, guys. When was the last good card? UFC 300? Guys, even UFC 300 was a debacle. You guys remember? UFC 300 was in shambles. If it wasn't for Alex Pereira coming back and, you know what I mean, being the headliner, that whole card would have been in shambles. But yes, most likely that was the last stacked card that we ever gotten. Honestly, Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway, Alex Pereira. I mean, it was a terrific night. Terrific night. Alex carried UFC last year. he carried. He not only carried it, he basically fucking ran with it. There was nobody else doing what Alex Pereira did. Nobody. Short notice fight after short notice fight. I think UFC shot their load with UFC 300. It was too stacked, and after that, they've had nothing. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what's good. I mean, UFC 317 is pretty good. I mean, that card, it looks okay. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like a stacked card, but it looks okay. You know what I mean? There's been, a couple fights there that, have fallen off, but UFC is doing what they can to keep that card intact. But we do have UFC 317 coming up, and that does look like a good card. You know what I mean? It looks like a good, entertaining card. But we shall see. Put it on his back and ran with it. He did, man. He did. 300 wasn't even stacked. It wasn't. 300 wasn't even stacked. I agree with you. Not stacked. Oh my gosh. Not stacked by old standards, but stacked by drought era standards. Yeah, I agree with you. If you're looking at it that way, yeah, it was stacked. If you're looking at it that way, Max, I agree with you. It definitely was stacked, especially in this era. Mars, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the chat. All right, this is your house. Welcome. How you doing? Did you hear the news, Mars? Finally, Dana White being transparent and telling us Jon Jones is retired, something that I've been screaming for the last year or two. All right. If you're not new to my channel, you already know I've been saying Jon Jones would never fight Tom Aspinall, and Jon Jones' last fight was against Stipe Miocic. The dead body is Stipe Miocic, guys. Yeah, but y'all are right. It wasn't really stacked, I admit. Max, we all have to admit it to ourselves. You know what I mean? We all have to admit it to ourselves. Yup, Aspinall is champ. It's crazy stuff, man. What's up, gang? Dean, welcome back to the community. Welcome back to the chat. How you guys are doing? What's going on? Hopefully you heard the news as well that Jon Jones is retired, something we all knew already. We've just been waiting for the UFC and Dana White to actually get out of their delusion. It's a wholesome how gassed you get seeing people pop in this chat. Hope you get more traction. Andrew, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, the more people that are in this community, that's what's up, man. You know what I mean? That is what's up. Like I always say, this is y'all's channel. This is your channel. This is your community. I'm just the pilot, man. I'm just guiding this thing. This guy needs like 100K subs ASAP. Thank you, Max. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Nice shirt. There you have. Thank you. Thank you. It's a little polo shirt. You know, nothing special. You know, a little polo shirt, breathable. You know, good material. You know, if you're outside in the hot ass sun, you won't sweat. You know, you catch a wind, it'll cool you off. I'm English. I am over the moon. I'm not having to wait for Jones to retire or sack up. Aspinall can start his title run. Andrew, I agree. I'm excited for Tom Aspinall to start his title run. However, there's nobody there for Tom Aspinall to build a legacy off of. So, you know, when it comes to the UFC and Dana White, they have to do their due diligence to, you know, travel the world and find heavyweights. Like I said in the beginning of this, you know, live, the UFC could go to their nearest barbecue and get a heavyweight, because at this point we got Cyril Gahn, Alex Volkov, Sergey Pavlovich, Curtis Blaze, Jilton Almeida as your top heavyweights right now, which, guys, that is atrocious. Aspinall deserves much more from UFC. I agree. A nice era for the English. Tom, you've got Paddy looking sharp in the last fight. Max, I agree. The English is making way. Alan Walker versus Marshmello. Oh, man, I don't know about that. Leon Edwards grew up down the road from me. Hope he gets back on track as well. I don't know, man. Andrew, when it comes to Leon Edwards, I don't know if he's going to get back on track. I honestly don't know. You know what I mean? He suffered 2 back-to-back losses. You know, he lost his belt against Belal Muhammad, and then he, you know, lost a fight recently. But I mean, look, 2 back-to-back opponents that are really, really high level. So does Leon Edwards have a chance to make way? He does. He just has to get the right opponent. Dean Faded wins. For sure. Non-Sergio Pavlovich can put a good fight. They should give him a rematch. Jason 9, that doesn't excite me. All right, Jason 9, that does not excite me. Not even a little bit. I'm sorry. I have to give you my opinion. I win. You win. You win, Dean. I hear you. I'm biased because he's our local guy. Oh, well, hey, man, if he's a local guy, that's what's up. I'm glad that you're supporting him. You know, you're showing him the support, you know, and hopefully he does get back on track. Terrific fighter, just has a lot of things to work on when it comes to his overall game in mixed martial arts. Imagine if they brought back Ngannou, but it's unlikely. Mars, if you watched, you know, Dana White in his recent press conference, he's definitely not bringing back Francis Ngannou. The guy, he gets uncomfortable when the name Francis Ngannou is brought, in his nearest vicinity. So I don't think Dana White is going to bring back Francis Ngannou anytime soon, guys. I'll never forget Rock's head kick against Usman. Uh, what a moment that was in MMA history, Max. It definitely was. That was a terrific moment. You know what I mean? It was phenomenal. You know what I mean? He was losing that fight almost every round. And then over a sudden, his corner told him, hey, you got to dig deep. You got to go out there and you got to do something special because you're losing this fight. And this might be the last chance of you getting that gold. And you saw how long, how many years it took to get here, all that hard work. So make something happen. And Leon Edwards definitely went out there and made something happen. It was terrific. Andrew, I'm from California. And even out here, my homies and I have love for Leon. That's what's up, Max. That is what's up. Ngannou never coming back. Dana hates him. I agree. I understand. I understand what you meant. I understand what you meant when you meant Rock. Don't let them bully you, son. Yeah, don't let them bully you. Definitely woke up my neighbors that morning. Yeah, man, that was terrific. That was a crazy day, man. That was a crazy day. Honestly, that was a head kick around the world, man. You know what I mean? Who you got for Topuria versus Oliveira? Guys. I mean, if I had to give my UFC fight predictions right now, as it stands, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to give it to Charles Oliveira. I like Charles Oliveira's chances. I do understand that Charles Oliveira will get caught by Topuria. I understand that, but I think Charles Oliveira would. He's not gonna get finished. I think he will get caught, but he's not gonna get finished, and eventually, he will win. He will win the fight. That's the way I see it. Don't let him bully your son. Yeah, man, that's the way you say it. You got to pull the shit, pull the fire. you, you guys got me having flashbacks. Andrew, yeah, man. Those are terrific memories. Terrific memories. Let me tell you something, man. Topuria KO looks hard to bet against, but I love Do Bronx. I mean, how does the power transfer? That's the question. You know what I mean? How does the power transfer? Will he be able to put, Charles Oliveira lights out to the point where Charles Oliveira won't be coherent enough to the point where he won't be able to get a submission if you do jump on him? Those are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. However, I do think Charles Oliveira wins the fight. LOL, trash card got us out here reminiscing. Damn! Thank you for putting things into perspective, man. Because we almost forgot that whole card was a debacle itself. Aspinall retired John without a single punch. James Dillon, he definitely did. He definitely did. You know what I mean? I've been screaming from the top of my lungs this fight will never happen. And finally, we're here. We only have the past guys. There's nothing in the future of this drought era of MMA. I don't know what's about to happen, but we're definitely in this drought era of MMA. We're in a definite recession. You know what I mean? We're in a recession of the UFC and mixed martial arts. And hopefully, in the near future, we could crack, we could gain some traction, because as it stands right now, it's not a lot of exciting things happening. Ring the bell for Andrew, please, mate. Deserves it for that line. All right, fine. All right, fine. I give it to you. That was a good line. He does deserve it because he was absolutely right, guys. All right, we are here reminiscing on a damn card that was absolutely trash. So when it comes to Max, give him a round of applause, and give a round of applause to the person that did the comment, okay, in Andrew, because he's absolutely right, man. I mean, guys, we're over here, reminiscing on a trash ass card. It's freaking crazy, guys. It's you know what I mean? It's nuts. This is what the UFC does to us, guys. Have us reminiscing on a trash ass card. All right. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. It's crazy. Do you have do you know Ashmal Jubilee? If not, he's an Indian UFC fighter. Yes, I do. I do know him. I heard that name. Yes. Oh, for sure, man. For sure. Did anyone else feel weird energy in the Hill Roundtree fight, like Alex Black Magic was still affecting them both? uh, James, I'm telling you right now. I made a video about this earlier. When it comes to Jamal Hill, he is the number one candidate for Crash Out of the Year, back to back 2024, 2025, guys. I have to say this, but Jamal Hill is one interview away from being Crash Out of the Year back to back years. Okay, number 2 is Yair Rodriguez, and number 3 is Brendan Schaub for Crash Out of the Year candidates. Okay, guys, let's give them a round of applause, man. Yeah. Uh, Current MMA situation has got us talking about Alex Black Magic still. Max, I'm telling you, it's a crazy time. Like you said, like you guys said, crazy time to be alive. You know what I mean? Hi, brother. How are you? I'm doing good, man. Can't complain, guys. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. All right, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right. Most friendly YouTuber ever saw. Hey, man, I'm just out here. Like I always say, this is your channel, guys. All right, this is your channel, your community. I'm just here. I'm just the pilot. I'm just, the guider. I'm just guiding this channel. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, guys, you won't regret subbing. This guy is chill as hell and great content. Thank you so much, Max. I really appreciate you guys. I really do. I can't do this without you guys. I really can't. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave it there, man. Jamal had a pretty bad leg injury. I think he knows he's done. Is just playing the game, getting them fights, and is getting paid. I respect the guy for kind of playing the heel, if he means to or not. Andrew, look, man, after last night's fight, I do give massive respect to Jamal Hill. I do. I do give massive respect to him because he was getting beat to a pulp, especially with that lower leg kick by Khalil Roundtree. You can tell that lower leg kick was definitely affecting Jamal Hill, but Jamal Hill stood strong in there, and he stood in the fight the whole time. He never became complacent, and I was definitely impressed by that. I really was. So when it comes to Jamal Hill, I think he is, in a downhill spiral, and unfortunately, most likely soon he's going to leave the UFC. But I am impressed with him. I was impressed with that performance. Will Kevin Lee just fit in with a defeat currently? Oh, will Kevin Lee fit in with a defeat just currently? Man, it's crazy. It's crazy when it comes to Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee got knocked out during sparring, and then 2 months later, got a match, got knocked out again. It's just crazy. Just subscribe. You keep going, bro. Jesus may bless you. Hey, if he does, that's what's up, man. If he does, thank you to the man above. All right, thank you to the man above. Nah, Kevin Lee sees holes in his losses. Title rub starts now. It definitely won't. That's definitely not happening. I'll take 2 weeks off work from one of those leg kicks. Man, I'll tell you, those leg kicks were vicious. Those leg kicks were vicious. Those leg kicks were like murder. You can tell every time it was landing. Jamal Hill switched his stance just because, in order to protect it. Can't understand what all people are talking about. Please explain. Well, right now, there's really nothing that we're talking about in general. You know what I mean? We've been, talking about Jon Jones, departure, finally retiring, and Dana White finally making way, to a press conference because he's been ducking and dodging the media like he's basically Floyd Mayweather. All right. Dana White finally made it to the press conference and was transparent and finally admitted that Jon Jones is walking away and not fighting in the heavyweight division, which makes Tom Aspinall, the undisputed heavyweight champion. And now we're just debating, who's going to be the next opponent for Tom Aspinall. And right now we all admitted to ourselves that that whole division is in shambles. There's nobody there for Tom Aspinall to fight. And the only thing they can do right now that's exciting is Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall. And we over here getting excited and reminiscing on past cards that were basically trash. And the reason why that's happening is because we've been immune to the product that the UFC has been giving us, which is inferior. Oh man, Dana looked like a broke up with the first love, telling the press Jones is done. James, I agree with you. He looked like a sad ex-girlfriend. You know what I mean? That wanted to give the information quickly. He wanted to just put it out there. You know what I mean? Man, how Jones probably would have got a pass for being an OG if he just fought Stipe and retired. I'm 99% sure they'll do Aspinall versus Gane. If they do that fight, they should be ashamed of themselves. Yeah, he could have walked away from the strap ages ago and retired after Stipe rode into the sunset. He could have said it right in front of his hometown against Stipe Miocic, but apparently he didn't want that. OE, what do you call what do we call you? Do you give out your first name or a name you want to be called, bro? You could call me OE. You know what I mean? This is OE MMA TV, and I'm your host, OE. This is your channel. Like I always say, guys, this is your channel. I am just the pilot. I'm just guiding this channel as we go. All right, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, so guys, I gotta get out of here. This been a great live. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. All right, gotta give you guys a just shout outs. Shout outs to everybody on the chat. Like and subscribe, guys. But Max, thank you for asking. You could call me OE specifically. All right, this is OE MMA TV, guys. I'm out of here. Like and subscribe. Takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for building this community. Like I always say, this is your channel. Bless. Until next time. Peace.